Shabbat Shalom, brothers and sisters. I'm Moreh Rapha'Yah. We're just about to start, and I have great news for you. As you can probably notice already, we've been very, very busy creating music. I'm one of the producers, executive producers of the music that we are providing that you probably heard so far. We have more. We're just giving a little taste. And by the way, it will be available on many platforms of Spotify, Apple Music, and so forth, many more. And pretty much you can guys get to hear the real music, the Middle Eastern music of our fathers, the Israeli ancient music that is being passed on through many generations, but it's kind of being lost. Now we are recovering little by little this tune that is being given to us, and it's available. I've been composing a lot of music, and it will be, like I said, available. Hopefully, if it's not this week, will be next week for sure. I'll set up the date for you guys to see it and have it available, and it will be really. I will set up an album that will be coming out next week. If it's not this week, for sure will be next week. And I will give you the link below. And so that's one of the great news. If you guys hear how clean the vocabulary is and the kadosh or set apart names, the name of our Creator, the name of my Mashiach, and it's very, very beautiful how when you listen to it, that's what you want to hear. Not the garbage outside, not the stuff that you hear outside mingle with so many deities and so forth. Exactly what the Creator said: do not mention by your mouth the name of other Elohim, other gods. And it's exactly what we're trying to do right now in this end of times. And this is just to praise the Creator in the right way, and that's what we're doing right now. That's one of my missions, to provide as much as we can. Let's start off with this Parashat Wayishlah. This parasha is very, very interesting because it talks about Yaakob and his brother Esau. Let's jump into it. If you notice how they unite once again, but before that, something happened. Chapter 32, verse 4, all the way to 36:43. Yaakob Wayishlah, he sent messengers ahead of him to Esau his brother to the land of Seir, the country of Edom. You guys didn't know by now that Edom happens to be the area where Esau inhabited. It was given to him. It was given that land. It was more like a mountain area, and this is what is called today Petra nowadays in Jordan. And once again, it is things that you can actually notice around that time. But in the first century, Edom became known as Rome. In other words, Christianity. And that's one thing that you have to understand, that the first century, the Roman Empire, what they were oppressing the Yahudim, the Jews at that time, talking about the southern kingdom. And if you notice, if you really think about it, they were twins. They were brothers. Okay, the only difference is that Esau, Edom, was mingled with many nations, and exactly what Esau did, and exactly what Yitzhak didn't want him to do, to follow other gods, and exactly what he did. That's one of the things why the Creator didn't want his priesthood to wind up with Esau, because he would die there with him. Let's continue. 32 verse 6, Esau, and behold, he come to meet you, and with them are 400 men. The reason why I jump right away into action is because this is what Yaakob did. He sent messengers to calm down the situation, to calm down, to make sure that his brother was going to forgive him. But indeed, everything that he sent gifts, one after another one. There were 4 gifts, right? 4 messengers. And we see that he sent these messengers and they were sent back with a no. With a no. He's coming for you. He's coming for your head. And exactly what was his intent, to come and kill his brother. But Yahweh has other plans. 33 verse 1, Yaakob lifted up his eyes and saw Esau was coming, and with him 400 men. And he divided the children between Leah, Rachel, and the 2 maid servants. We see that when he lifted up his eyes and saw, the word is Ra'ah. Ra'ah means to see, not just with a scope, with a human eye, but also prophetically speaking. These 400 men are 400 years that took for Mashiach to come in the first century. These 400 men are the 4,000 millennium that Mashiach came to to the southern kingdom to in the first century. Once again, all these are for prophetically what Yaakob did. In these words, saw, the word Ra'ah, R-A-A-R, H at the end, is something that he utilized once again later on when he's already old. If you guys remember when he had already had the 12 children later in Joseph is in Egypt. Remember that they needed food, and the Torah says very clear that he saw that there was grain in Egypt. The next verse says that he heard there was grain in Egypt. The question is, how did he see if he couldn't see physically? He wasn't able to see physically, but the Torah says that he saw that there was grain in Egypt. The word Ra'ah means that it's not just utilizing the physical eye, the fleshly eye, but rather it was utilizing that as a prophet, visualizing the future ahead of him. And it's exactly what a prophet does and is capable of and is endowed to see the future. The same thing goes later with him again when he's about to die. And he called his son Yosef and his two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. And he said he was about to give his blessings, and he said he saw, and he refrained, he retained, he withdraw his hands for a moment, because he saw the future of Ephraim, the future that was, behold, in his future that was going to astray unto idolatry. You see that? So once again, the word that's what it means, and that's why he utilized it not just once, but few times. Look at what it says here in the book of Yashar 32, verse 27. On that day, Yahweh heard the prayer of Yaakob, and Yaakob delivered Yaakob from the hands of his brother Esau. How did he do that? Very simple. Next verse 29 says, and these malachim, these angels, appeared to Esau and his people as 2,000 men, mounted on horses, equipped with all kinds of instruments of war. And they appeared to the eyes of Esau, and all his men divided in 4 camps, with 4 chiefs by their side. This is exactly what Yahweh did to Yaakob. He assisted him. My question to you, do you think that Yahweh will leave out unto the wilderness to a tzaddik, to a righteous man? And exactly the answer is no. He never going to leave a tzaddik. It might seem like he is alone. It might seem like he's left out to die. But in reality, Yahweh always here the prayers of the tzaddik, the prayers of the just, the righteous. And here we can see a clear indication that Yahweh assisted Yaakob because Yaakob prayed. He prayed to Kadosh Baruch Hu for an assistance. And Yahweh actually sent 3 malachim. These 3 malachim became 2,000 men. And these 2,000 men became 4 divided camps, 500 men in each camp. And it's crazy because look at what it says, 30 verse 30. Chapter 30 verse 30. And the camp was set up as they found Esau coming with 400 men towards his brother Yaakob. The camp ran towards Esau and his people and frightened them, and Esau fell off his horse in fear, and all his men separated from him at that time because they were very, very afraid. This is what happened when Yahweh is powerful. He sent his malachim, his angels, his messengers, and believe me, Esau thought that he had a great company. He didn't realize that Yahweh not only 3 times, but 4 times quadruple the amount of men. Do you believe that? No wonder why he was so afraid. No wonder why these men were like armed to the teeth. And no wonder why they were so very afraid, to the point that they left Esau by himself, and Esau fell off from his horse. Do you believe that? And look what it says, verse 31. And when they were fleeing from Esau, the whole camp shouted after them. That means the people, the messengers of Yahweh. And all the warrior men answered, saying, surely we are servants of Yaakob. Who is a servant of Yahweh? And who can then face us? Esau said to them, oh, well, my master and brother Yaakob is your master, who I haven't seen on these 20 years, and now I have come to see him. Why do you treat me this way? Do you see how the tune changes completely? 380 degrees change. 380 degrees from the moment that he said it was really haughty, really arrogant. He said, no, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to send these messengers back, tell them that I'm coming for his head. But he didn't realize that Yahweh already had plans to send 4 camps of 500 each. Do you believe that? 500 each to tell them exactly what he needed to be here. And exactly what happened. And this situation, this event happens 4 times, to the point where, look at what the Malachim says. Verse 33, and the Malachim answered, saying to him, as Yahweh lives, if Yaakob were not your brother whom you speak of, we would not have allowed either of you or your people to remain, because Yaakob would do them to no harm. You see that? It's exactly what Yahweh does. He gives you an ultimatum. Stop doing that. Stop messing around with my people, because I will come for you. And it's exactly what Yahweh always intended to begin with. You see that? No wonder why at the very end of the 4th event of the same thing, the book of Yashar says very clear that he was so afraid, and at the same time he refrained his hatred within him. See that? His hatred within him retained. Which means that by the time he got to his brother Yaakob, he kissed him, but deep inside wanted to kill him. The hatred still was in there, but he was afraid. You see that? Because what Yahweh did back there, he says, don't mess around with me. Don't mess around with my messengers, with my servant. Don't mess around with them, with my prophet. And Shaul says very clear that no root of evil, no root of hatred should be on you. It's exactly what that kind of hatred that Esau had. No wonder why when Esau said to his brother in the Torah, says, "Come with me, let's eat, let's dwell together, let's get along." Jacob said, "No, don't worry, just keep going, I'll catch up with you." He never did, because he already knew his brother. He didn't mean, he meant what he said, but he actually didn't mean it whatsoever. And exactly what happened in the future. He did not forgive him. Verse 29, these Malachim appears at Esau as 2,000 men. But let's continue. Chapter 32, verse 4 of Genesis. And these instructions were what you have to say to my master Esau. Your servant Yaakob says, I have been living with Laban, and I have stayed until now. Now, this message that he was speaking of was the message, I have lived with my brother, with my uncle Laban. My question to you is, didn't he already knew that he was living with him? He was there in the same house with his father Yitzhak. Of course, he knew that he left with Laban, his uncle. But there was a message why he said that. There is a message that he codified to his brother. And I want you to see this. The gematry of Gur means I have been living, I have been inhabit with my uncle Laban, is the gematry, the number 613, which means that what he was telling his brother is that he was living with a goy, he was living with one of the nations, a Gentile. But I have observed the 613 mitzvah of Yahweh, the commands of Yahweh. See that? Exactly something that he was codifying when he was sending that message. My question to you, brothers and sisters, what is it that we are doing nowadays? Are we dealing with our family? Are we dealing with our... Remember that we keep Torah all the time, in due time and off time. But the question to all of us should be, we going to follow Torah all the way through, or just when we need it, just when it's convenient to us? The answer, you have to answer to yourself. We must continue this journey, this path of Torah until Mashiach comes. It is our duty to follow through, to follow suit, all these things, because this is the command of our Creator. This is the command of our Mashiach. Once again, I didn't want to make it too long, but to the point. And I hope the Creator give us the ability to do many things, And believe me, yes, we can. We can do a lot of things. It's just a matter of asking our Creator to give us the strength to do so. We'll see you next time. And once again, music is coming. It will be available to you to purchase, to help out this channel. We'll continue doing more and more productions. So a whole lot of music is coming, to be honest with you. So much. But it takes a little bit of time to produce all this music. It's not as easy as you think. But it's coming. And it's very, very beautiful. And there is a message. That's the point. There is a message. And also the tune goes hand in hand. So we ask our Creator to give us the ability to do a lot of things, and also the health. We'll see you next time. Moreh Rapha'Yah. Shalom and Shabbat Shalom.
We'll begin. Toda Rabba. If you like this video, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel. There's more content in production. Thank you.